boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders and closet swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys had a good 3-day weekend from the markets. I know some of you feel like you're still on vacation. I feel like that too. I kind of feel like that too. But I hope you got some opportunities, spend some time with friends and family, enjoyed yourselves. If you guys celebrate Easter, I hope you guys had a good Easter, Passover, good Passover. And I believe we got Ramadan too. I think this is only once every 100 years, all three meet on the same kind of time frame. And this was it. I'm pretty sure. So whatever you guys celebrate, hope you guys had an absolutely enjoyable, fantastic time. And let's see what these markets are giving us. Let's go to the SPY. We got the SPY. Not only do we got the SPY, but we also got Chuck in the house. Good morning. We got Alex. We got Attorney Dan, Bill, Brian, Chris. We got Eric ready to roll with us. We got Eric, Greg, K, my boy, Greg Gilbert. By the way, if anybody needs to do a meetup, if anybody wants to be in the meetup groups, I know Greg Gilbert is going strong. I saw some emails coming in from Greg Gilbert over the week. He don't take a break. We got Jacob. Good morning. Joe. Good morning. Lauren in the house. Martina, Paul, Shane, Sky, Wendy is with us. Good morning to Win. Yes, sir. Yovaris. We got Richard Jet, YouTube land, Real Virtual Demand, all the lurkers sitting in the background, not putting any comments in YouTube land. I still love you. It's okay. Good morning to all of you guys as well. We got a little bit of a gap down. Oh, Greg Gilbert says this Wednesday, options and the Greeks. So if anybody's interested in that, Greg, shoot me in the chat a quick email or something that I could put out there to or if anybody's interested, how they could sign up for that group. I know you could go directly through that as well, but yeah, for anybody really in YouTube land, but anybody in Slack, that means you're in All Access Pass, just shoot Greg Gilbert a message. But he does fantastic groups as well for meetups. So we do have a little bit of a gap down, very interesting location. So I was looking at this pre-market. It's not gapping outside of what is this now? Thursday's range. My whole day is going to be off having to not say Friday. We did have non-farm payrolls come in on Friday. That was the only key event. We did have futures open for a little bit as well. But Sky says, how do you score Tesla, TSM, Square, Gap, and Go? All right, let me see if I can put this into this link. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can throw this link into Slack. Sometimes into YouTube. Sometimes YouTube doesn't let me post into my own YouTube. I don't know why. But let me see. Maybe today's the day. Let's see. How do I do that? Say something. Okay. All right. I posted a link to YouTube. Let me know, YouTube, if you guys can see it or not. Not sure. Not sure. But so this is non-farm payrolls came in looking weak. Again, bad news is good news in the front for Jerome Powell and inflation. We got big CPI numbers coming out on Wednesday. Just beware of that as well. So we're going to get some more data, some more information just on the inflation topic. But this is an interesting gap. So we're not gapping outside of Thursday's low. We still got a decent amount for that. We are breaking through a lot of VPOCs that so this is the key one. I'm like, okay, if we could stay below that, that gives me a little bit more reason to go bearish. However, and then all of this was just kind of a retest into this, which is a healthy retest. And maybe we do continue lower, but this one last developing VPOC, so it's not even the strongest, but we did have some volume come into that area. We obviously ripped from that point, and we're above it. So I'm like, I don't know. We could get a little choppy potentially. I think if you are a bull, you're trying to hang into that level. That level is so it's roughly going to be about 406.42. And then if you're a bear, you're really trying to keep this thing underneath 407.04. So we're at the high end of that range. I think right now it's very, very tight. You have a lot more resistance higher than you do lower. So 407.30 becomes the next one. Then we got 408.33. Then we got 409.05. And then last but not least, 409.57. The problem is these have already all been tested. This is a pretty decent gap down. I would want to actually lean a little bit to the bearish side of this. And can we break through that? If we can, we don't really have anything stopping us. We got a couple moving averages coming in, so we do have to keep our eyes on those. But otherwise, just in terms of VPOC, 403.48 gives us a better probably point for some kind of reversal. So we do have a decent amount of room to the downside. I kind of want to lean bearish, maybe out of the gate, at least for the SPY sake. I don't know. Maybe we don't drop immediately. Would love to see maybe that green candle come in and then we could take a break, something like that. You guys know my move. We got the Qs. So Qs are down. We're not at the low. We're not at the opening price from Thursday. So we're a little bit higher. We do have a very, very good resistance, 315.45. Right now, we are slightly below that. If that one breaks, yeah, we're gonna get some more room to the higher side, 317.90. But again, the real VPOC, the one that actually closed, gives us a downside to about 311.70. And we're going to have some annoying, probably little bounce or support, 314.06. So keep those ranges. Write them down somewhere. They're going to be a decent spot where I'm seeing if things try to break and which direction we go. So right now, we don't have a great, unless we think this developing VPOC could break. And I don't think it's going to be the strongest one. I just know that that's going to be an area, if we get down there, probably the bulls are going to give us a little bit of a headache trying to short past it. But I think it's not an unbreakable barrier by any stretch of the imagination. So again, decent looking gap. And this would make this all kind of a retest into that higher volume area. And we might continue down lower. So we'll have to see how this thing wants to play out. Maybe we get some more additional fear on the table. So the first one I saw, I think, was Chuck. The second message into chat, like just good morning, Tesla. Tesla does look. I was looking at this one pre-market as well. So yeah, this is a good gap and go. It's kind of a good gap and go. This candle's green. So yes, this would be a gap and go candle on just the basis that this is a green candle and we're gapping below it. The one thing I would want to just be careful of is almost want to repaint that candle to red. Because from the day prior, right? First of all, we got a lot of selling. Then this was a retest gap, right? We do have some bulls. We got down here before. Bulls pushed it up. And this just kind of came in for that retest. So we're still in a bearish trend. We do have a couple days of selling. And then the other key thing that I want to watch for is this level here, right? So we are kind of jammed up into some type of support with VPOCs. The next one down will take us to about 174.38-ish. So somewhere in that range. Otherwise, we are affecting some bulls. Let's just go to a smaller time frame on this one. Let's see. Let's take this one to a 5-minute just to see how this one was pushing at the end of the day. So most of the buying actually came in toward the end of the day, or really after the initial sell-off. We got down there and then we jumped higher. So we will be trapping some potential bulls on this little gap down. I'm definitely I already have it number one on my list. So the only thing that's going to drive me crazy is that support going to be strong enough? If not, yeah, we have about $5 more to the downside to short this thing pretty comfortably. So let me do one more thing. Let's throw in some extended hours. Do we have a wave count? Maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if this wick is real at all, but 5. This is your kind of ABC. It is a lot of selling, all really pre-market coming in. I would almost want to see some kind of a 50% retracement bounce of that pre-market short somewhere around like this 182.50 would give me better risk reward. I could throw stops up here somewhere. That would look better to me than just out of the gate take a flush. But we'll see what this where this thing wants to open when it actually does. But it still looks weak. Still definitely looks weak. I don't know if the gap we're going to get as much reaction because anybody that's short, yeah, they were short. They didn't sell on Thursday. Maybe they get that other opportunity today. So just to kind of close out their shorts, which means buy back their positions. So we'll have to see. Wendy says news came out on the weekend that Elon is opening a major factory in China. Yep. Which is decent. There's definitely a lot of people in China. What was it? I think it's LI was one of the top competitors as far as the batteries go in China. So yeah, if he wants to compete in China, it's not bad news, but then you're gonna have subject to the Chinese government. So I don't know how Tesla people feel about that. Apparently not so great. All right, TSM and Square. So we'll pull up Square, aka Block. All right, so Square going a bit higher on my list. So this one I actually like a little bit better than Tesla because this is like, well, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of chop. This one I think is a little bit more gap and go-ish. I think will play out a little bit more like a gap and go than even Tesla will. We are below all of the kind of moving averages. This is a good opening location. We don't have another VPOC till about 63.79, so we give ourselves a little bit of room to the downside. Again, I would love to see some kind of just give me one candle, something like that. Or actually, you know what? We could probably get pre-market play. I would say almost anything under 66.16. All right, we might come back to this one and we'll see how it looks before the bell. We're gonna have one other key area right around 66. Nice psychological whole number, so it could be decent too. But yeah, I kind of like that one for breaking down more so than Tesla. I don't see the same type of resistance on that one. And then TSM, I believe will probably move a little bit to the slower side day trade wise. I think I don't trade it too much, but this gap looks pretty horrendous. Again, this is still even though this is a gap and go, this one's it's a green candle, but it is a retest candle. So technically the trend is down. Anybody that shorted on any of these prior days, they probably didn't get too freaked out about this one. Even that candle, the retest went to about 50% of the candle. So still half the people on this day were still profitable if they shorted the day before. This could look like a decent area for maybe some type of a bounce first. But again, we are at some kind of key support right now. It does look like we are below it. So I'd have to give this one a couple minutes. Let me throw this one high on the list. Again, I would love to see on this one and Tesla some buying first. We get some buying and then a breakdown. Square, I could see us kind of just rolling a little bit. Or maybe we could take a pre-market setup on Square. We'll see. Let me see if there was let me know if there's any other tickers that you guys wanted. I think Tesla, TSM, Square. See if I missed any. I think those are all of them. And YouTube land. That's it. We only got 3 tickers this morning. There you go. Wendy's got some. She got NVIDIA. So yeah, NVIDIA was again gapping down. We're still inside this little tight area. We're starting to get below some of those moving averages, starting to reject it. I still got the put on Nvidia for sure. What I'm hoping for, and I don't know if this plays out or not, but this could be setting up as a potential future Head and Shoulders. So that would be a decent location, something like that. And then this becomes the neckline. So I think it's too early exactly for the breakdown. If that's even if this is the neckline. So if we go from here to something like this, we're pretty much opening at where that support should be. And I would probably want to see, because I don't think a lot of these Head and Shoulders, they're not going to be just open and collapse immediately. They'll kind of play around with this line, mess with people's emotions for a little bit. So I would actually like to see this one bought up before I short this one. The highest I could get to, let's see what price this is, 270.06. The happier I am to look for a short on this thing. So would love for this thing to get bought up a little bit more, and then maybe do some intraday. But keep in mind, even for today, it is going to be a little bit choppy until it's not. So maybe we do get some kind of a bigger breakdown, or some news comes out or something. And then we start to get below kind of that VPOC, which is around 267, I don't know, 267.20, I'll call it. But somewhere around there. If we start breaking Thursday's candle, I almost did it Friday, yesterday. I'm just throwing out random days. This random green candle, if we get below that, then I think, okay, we might have probably a little bit of a bounce and then something like that. And maybe we could start to finally get a crack in Nvidia, but otherwise it might be a little bit to the choppy side. Don't play with, yeah, it's not there yet. It's not confirmed. We don't get a confirmation until we actually break the neckline. But if we want to anticipate, like, hey, you know what? There was, like, this thing is up massive. We do have a little bit of a kind of bearish engulfing candle. We gapped down under a decent amount of VPOCs. We are still kind of holding. All the Head and Shoulders is pretty much sentiment, right? Obviously, bulls are out of their mind bullish here. It's going crazy. Good. You got some profit taking. The bulls are still on the table just in terms of sentiment. Like, they're able to make new highs, bring it up, and then all of a sudden you get this next lower move. Okay, well, what changed? I mean, right now we do have that bearish engulfing candle. This is all technically a retest gap. This one's actually gapping below some other VPOCs, so you're starting to trap some people on that last move. Question to me is really, is the sentiment the same? I could come up with probably 1.5 million reasons why it might not be the same on this next move up. So this next wave, wherever this thing wants to end, really, is the bulls still as bullish as they were before, or did they start to give up? And once we see that weakness start to roll in, that to me would be, okay, now we have that third shoulder. Again, we don't get confirmation until here, but I think kind of the switch has been flipped a little bit on Nvidia, but we'll see. We shall see. TGTX. Yeah, therapeutics is going to be a little tougher on a day trade basis, I think. My guess is they probably had some kind of news. I did see them trending earlier. Recommends approval of multiple sclerosis. Yeah, I don't know. They're gonna act a little strange. Usually, so that was news on approval. Usually on approval, it sells. In biotech, all the money's made on the anticipation of, like, okay, we got round one probably going to get approved soon. It looks good. Round two, round three, we might get the FDA approval. It's possible, and then that's when all the money starts piling in prior to the approval. Usually, and maybe I'm wrong here, but usually after something gets approved, you end up fading. So it's going to be very, very heavily news driven in terms of, I mean, in terms of just going off the chart. Yes, we are gapping above 3 days, not really outside of that wick where the bears came in last time. We are at a little bit of probably resistance. So this would also be a good spot to fade it as well, just on a technical basis. And you got to think of all of those people from, I mean, November 9th at least that are probably in this thing like, okay, good, we got the news. So I'm always usually a little bit more careful and cautious on anything biotech, but usually the play is to get in before, not after. Dollar General. Yeah, so this one's gonna be similar to the Tessie a little bit. To Tessie and what was it? TSM? Yeah, it's a gap and go, but that was technically a bearish day that we just retested. So trend to me is still bearish. Would like to see something get bought up. This one maybe, so it's a little bit different than Tesla. Tesla, obviously, we did sell a few days prior to the gap. This one though, yeah, we do got, I mean, over a longer term period, there's a lot of people in this thing short still. If I was them, I'd be a little concerned about double bottoms forming on some of these things. But you do have Dollar General, and you got if we got some room, the next spot, I think we're at one of them right now, 210.44, 209.61, and then we got 208.66. So probably 208.66 where we start to find some kind of support on this thing. That's where I'd be looking to yeah, I'd probably be looking to get in there as a bull if I want any piece of Dollar General. So we probably find some support there as well. But so that will give you, if we can make it down past those levels, that gives you about $2 to play with to the downside. But I would actually like to see this thing just chop sideways for a longer period of time, like 2 weeks in the zone, and then we start to break down. That would say, okay, we're ready for another bigger leg down. But I would just be a little more cautious on Dollar General at the gate. BMEA. Dale Ryan says MU is gapping up. We'll take a look at that, and Roblox as well. All right, so Bio, I don't even know how to say that. BioMay, is that it? BioMay Fusion. It sounds important. I don't know what they do. They just sound like they should be higher. This is an interesting. So this is one heck of a gap up. Looks like that's on earnings. Do we have news today? BioMay Fusion prices upsize 150 million common stock offering. I mean, usually that would be bearish. So we're up about 20 cents on this. The location is going to be key here. So again, I don't know too much about the fundamentals of this company whatsoever. But this does look like, let me just see if we can get, we could probably draw 2 different fibs on this one. We'll start from the gap up. We'll say that's where people are looking. This takes us right to the 618. So if you're going to play an S curve on a swing trade basis, that will be the spot. And then the second location I was looking at, I mean, this, I don't know how accurate this is going to be, but probably we're just kind of in the middle of nowhere on that one. Not even sure this is where this started, quite frankly. I think we have to go with that first one. This one's, that's a much longer term out. That's not going to be as much, but right from that gap up, which is where I think sentiment changed off the earnings. So if anybody's still trying to take advantage of the earnings play, you're looking for some kind of S curve right at that 618. This would probably be your spot to attempt to go long. In a worst case, give you a good risk reward. Your stop's going to be somewhere around $25, and you have good decent upside for this. Chuck says, "Are we losing audio?" I can hear myself perfectly. Win says we could barely hear you. But why? Why Win? Can everybody else hear me? I sound kind of far, huh? Not quite sure as to why. Both my computers are low volume. Peter says it's good for him. It's good for him. Shane says volume definitely got pretty low. I just turned my speakers up. I don't know. Yovar says I can't hear you either. Very low. That's not good, team. I don't like that one bit. I don't like it. I don't have any of the effects on. All the volume is up, so yeah, nothing has really changed. Try shouting. He says, huh? I don't know. I don't know what would cause that. What about now? Can you guys hear me all now? Oh, yeah, I don't know. All the settings are up, so I've no clue. No clue. All right. Let's let the bell ring, and then I'll try to fix audio, I guess. Unless it's like unbearable where you can't hear nothing. What would that be? Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Yeah, it does seem like it's coming in lower. I don't know. As far as like the levels go. What about now? Does it sound better now? Rock says I'm on your headset. I don't know. Curiosity killed a cat, so I don't want to mess around with the settings yet, especially before the market. Yeah, not quite sure. Richard said you did get quiet. Like, how quiet did I get? Let's check out MU real quick before the market opens. That's louder. I don't understand. I didn't even do anything. I just did nothing different. Okay. All right. Let's see. We've got MU as a retest gap, but this one is a pretty decent gap. So let's see if we can get a little pullback before we go long. That would be a long opportunity of the day, though. That's probably 62.78. We're going to throw this one higher on the list. I can't take it long out of the gate. I have to get some kind of sign of buying or selling, get some profits in there first. And then we could probably look later in the day to take that one long. I just got, I just had to, now I'm just yelling at people. Oh, crazy. AAPL. Why is it always me? Why is it a me problem? Why don't you just turn your speakers up? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, now the volume seems like it's coming in better. I don't know. There's a ghost in the system. All right, Apple is we're throwing Apple in there for a good short potential as well. Apple's is going to be very tough to short, but that was all still inside day. Very, very strong day on Apple on Thursday. Gap down. Probably room takes us down to 160.57 in a worst case. Otherwise, I'd be targeting probably about 160. So Apple might be a decent move as well. I'm going to take this and throw this into, let's go TOS. Let's make sure I got the right ones in. And we only got like 30 seconds until the market opens. So for everybody out there in YouTube land, at least if you're the ones that can hear me in YouTube land, you guys are incredible. If you can't hear me and you just watch the recording later and you put the volumes up, I still love you. Thank you for joining us each and every day. You guys are incredible. But unfortunately, this is the time where I got to go. Unless you guys are in All Access Pass, just sign into that room, reallifetrading.com, and you guys 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Otherwise, you guys are awesome, and I will catch all of you guys later. Take it easy, guys.